Hello everyone, we are the team number 5 and our topic is communities and ecosystems. And our team is conformed by Jaelmer Aguilar García, Daniela Montserrat Almanceguía, Ángel Javier Castañeda Capitán H, Damaris Lisbeth García Montemayor, Omar Denizetti González Garza, and Aimee Alejandra Villarreal Villarreal. Coastal dunes. Hello, my name is Jaelmer Aguilar García. In this work, we will explain the various parts of a given ecosystem, dunes, as the geographical distribution of our ecosystem, dunes. Taking into account that geographical distribution is a range where it is defined as a fraction of the geographical space, where a species is present and interacts. The presence or absence of this in the geographical space is defined by biogeographical, physiological, as well as ecological factors. The next point to treat is in terms of biotic and abiotic factors. They may refer to the flora and fauna of a place and its interactions. Individuals should have specific behavior and physiological characteristics that allow their survival and reproduction in an environment. We also include a food network with a Saya diagram that explains the feeding relationships that exist between different plants and animals in an ecosystem. We will also relate and explain what ecosystem services are, which consist of ecosystem services or environmental services that are resources or processes of natural ecosystems that benefit humans. It includes products such as clean drinking water and processes such as waste decomposition. After linking the above, we will explain the biological implications, economic, political, and social, such as the growth of the population that demands more natural resources, consumption of meat of animal origin, indiscriminate hunting, and industrial activities that increase the capital and relationships of human activities, as well as the growth of mining, agricultural, etc. In the end and in relation to the above, we will find and exhibit solutions for ecosystem.
Hi, my name is Omar Gonzalez, and today I will explain the geographic distribution of the dune coastes and the conclusion of the team. Thank you. Distribution of the coastal dunes. The dunes are distributed at the back of Mount Sinai Beach, where the highest tide arrives. They are found in almost every sandy coast of the country: Baja California Sur, Sonora, Jalisco, Tamaulipas, Veracruz, Quintana Roo, Yucatan, and Campeche.
Hello, my name is Ángel Javier Castañeda Capitanache, and in this time I am going to explain the biotic and abiotic factors of the coastal dunes. In itself, I will explain that how they are formed and their relationship with flora and fauna, as well as their structure and how they are related to the proper functioning of the maintenance of this ecosystem.
Biotic and abiotic factors. Dune. Abiotic factors. The sun and the work of the wind. There are many factors that characterize coastal dunes and are not repeated in other systems. Fundamentally, among the most important are the sandy composition of the substrate that forms them and the proximity or ionizate with the sea. As can be assumed, this largely defines many of biotic and abiotic factors aspects of the choose ecosystem. The dunes are made of the large accumulation of the unconstablished sand, the shape and they have acquired, as well as their size and orientation, and particular to each zone. Dune. Abiotic factors. The vegetation found in the dunes, although in fact it can really scarce, plays a very important role in determining its shape, as in disgrace the movement of the sand in certain areas of cause some parts of the dune to advance at faster rate than others. The parabolic dunes have a very particular topography, in which you can define the condyles, peaks, arms, slopes with different characteristics in terms of the sand moves, humidity, slope, and degree of exposure. Dune. Abiotic factors. The physical factors that vary between microenvironments are very diverse. For example, on the beach we find mid-high line concentration than in the rest of the system, both at ground and the air level. In addition, the beach is subject to the movement of waves and tides, and occasionally flooding caused by high tides, storms, or cyclones. The proximity of the dune system to the sea gives the other particularities, in addition to the high saline concentration of the substrate in certain areas. The saline spray caused by the sea breeze, which is not tolerated by a number of plant species, limits its distribution to micro moments not exposed to this factor. Dune, abiotic factors. The creepy growth habit is common among them, and the production of the prostrated stems of rachinops is an important form to colonization for some, as in canal deformation of clones. Water scarcity also reduces nutrients availability. The temperature of the level of the structure is a hotness, especially in the dry zones, becomes mostly high and the inside of wind is lower dense areas than other parts of the dune. That we hear sand movement is not very strong. Biotic factors of coastal dunes. Fauna. The predominant fauna of coastal dunes are insects such as bees, wasps and ants, beetles, flies and also spiders. Among the vertebrates there are the tooths, frogs, turtles, and horns in the low of humidity area of the dunes, while in the high and the dry parts fly falcons, sopilots, and eagles, looking for some snake or lizard. Biotic factors of coastal dunes. Flora. Among the most common flora species are the champizo beach verdolaga, beach beyuk, black chen, silver palm, beach grape. Plants communities in the dunes are considered halitypes, vegetation that lives in salt height in the soluble salts. They have a heterogeneous distribution along the coast, as there are localities that dominated by herbaceous species. Others bushes, tree species, or can also be mixed. Most species of coastal dunes plants are the prostrate habits.
Hello, good morning. My name is I'm Alejandra Villarreal, and below you will be able to see an example of trophic chain or food web with the animals that can found in this ecosystem. And you can also see the type of consumer that they are. The trophic chain or food chain is known as the mechanism of transfer of organic matter and energy through the different species of living beings that make up a biological community of ecosystem. And this is an example of a food web in this ecosystem. Each rung of the food chain is known as a trophic level. In each one, the different species that share a feeding activity or a mode of nutrition are located, imaginary or representational, and are therefore occupy the same place in the food circuit of the ecosystem. Trophic levels can be producers or primary producers, forms of life endowed with autotrophic nutrition that is capable of synthesizing their own food like plants, consumers, those heterotrophic living beings which must consume the organic matter of others to feed themselves. They are usually classified into four substeps, which are primary, herbivores, and other beings that feed directly on the producers or their derivatives. Secondary, small predators that feed on primary consumers. Tertiary, larger predators that prey on secondary consumers. Quaternary or finally, large predators that feed on tertiary or secondary consumers and that do not have natural predators. And decomposers, Natural's recycling department, which feed on carrion waste, decomposing organic matter, and helps reduce it to its basic materials. They are also called the triphocase or saprophase.
Hi, my name is Daniela Monserrado Almanza Guia, and I will present you what are the biological, economic, political, and social implications of human activity of the ecosystem of coastal dunes in Mexico. But I will explain what is an implication. An implication are the consequence or effect of a fact or event. Biological implication. Sand removal from coastal dunes generate continuous erosion and causes loss of vegetation, making stabilized dunes mobile and vulnerable to coastal currents. And wind. Mineral extraction involves filtering the sand and restoring it to the system and reducing the stability of the beaches and affects the biodiversity of the system. In the case of cattle, trample, and broadwind, the vegetation delays the generation of the coastal dune by eliminating the vegetation cover, which represents a loss of organic matter. The effects of change in sea level on coastal dunes will consist of the erosion of the embryonic and primary dunes. Economic implication. Coastal erosion problems in Cancun became evident for the first time after Hurricane Gilbert, but in reality the origin must be attributed to the occupation of the barrier island by tourist infrastructure which began in the 1970s. The increase in the coastal population and tourist development continues to grow and repeats the same mistake of Cancun. In 1997, Hurricane Paulina generated economic losses of 300 million pesos in Oaxaca and Guerrero. Political implication. Constructions are obstacles that interrupt or divert the flow of water and sediments, which modifies the cemetery balance. The transit of people is the activity that exerts one of the negative impacts most common on coastal dune vegetation. The increased pressure from visitors compacts the sand, which causes a reduction in plant density, its generation capacity, and the growth rate of the coastal dune. Vehicle traffic, on the other hand, has a much greater impact, since it reduces the height and density of the vegetation and compacts the sand much more, which causes the degradation of habitat, nesting areas, shelter, and food. The use of bicycles on the beach also produces the phenomenon of crushing the sand, breaking it into even smaller pieces, which further favors the loss of sand from the beaches. The dunes still lack specific instruments for the management and production. Social implication. The urban, industrial, residential, tourist, aquaculture, road, and port infrastructure that is built in the beach coastal dune system generate various impacts that can vary in intensity from the alteration of a part of its structure to the total loss. Restoration can require a lot of investment and time, especially for the studies necessary to identify problems of streets that review the area and select the action and the application of methods.
Hi, my name is Damaris Garcia Montemayor, and I will explain the proposal. We know that in Mexico there are different dunes, as for example, they are found in almost all the same coasts in the country: Baja California, Baja California Sur, Sonora, Jalisco, Tamaulipas, Veracruz, Quintana Roo, Yucatan, and Campeche. And what better than to enjoy them as long as they are not effective? Since sometimes most people do not take care of the place when visiting, but on the contrary, they pollute it, destroy it. Waiting to find a proposal or solution to avoid all these problems could be the following. Hi, my name is Damaris Garcia Montemayor, and I will explain the proposal. We know that in Mexico there are different dunes, as for example, they are found in almost all the same coasts in the country: Baja California, Baja California Sur, Sonora, Jalisco, Tamaulipas, Veracruz, Quintana Roo, Yucatan, and Campeche. And what better than to enjoy them as long as they are not effective? Since sometimes most people do not take care of the place when visiting, but on the contrary, they pollute it, destroy it. Waiting to find a proposal or solution to avoid all these problems could be the following. Before people get to where the coastal dunes of our country are, there are people in charge of telling them about the dunes, so that they know also make mention of not polluting. Besides having a cost, so that there are people in charge of cleaning out the garbage, and with that money to pay them a salary and also what is needed to be able to have the dunes in the cleanest way. That in certain places there are garbage cans or likewise hire people to take care of, and every time they see people polluting they may have some sanctions. Having seen to beginners giving notice that this should not be contaminated to help the environment.
Conclusion: the ecosystem of the Donald Coast is one of the most beautiful in the world. Due to this wide variety of plants and animals in addition to the formation of large dunes, the coast over time have deteriorated due to various biotic factors, such as the presence of new species, which have crosses with offspring native species, achieving a change in species, and other abiotic factors such as substances left by men in those species and global warming, which has increased the sea level, achieving an increase in temperature on the coast and increase in size in the dunes, compared to their original size. Because of this, various organizations have come together to try to solve this problem, although by various social, political, economical, and biological factors. This process has been delayed by a few years. But with the union of all Mexicans, a very favorable change could be achieved for the coastal dunes of Mexico. Signs of these are of vital importance to near seas and ocean of Mexico. Since the species originate in these dunes are key to proper function of the ecosystem, mainly concerning the growth of various species that, if in fuller their function, the streams of water which are responsible to maintain the temperatures will disappear, and why they are very important and we must take care for them.